How did you build Echo and how is he put together?
So we designed Echo last year at the beginning of 2020 with a puppet designer called Tom Cleaver from Mr. Cleaver's Monsters. He's based in Leicester and he's got a workshop. So we thought about the idea, we designed and drew the beginning of what Echo would look like, and we've been collaborating back and forth on his functionality and his aesthetics. So yeah, that's how it was built. We had other collaborators coming in to cut different parts because we need different tools to cut through the foam or the corex or the wood or the metal, the glass for the eyes, for example. And how it's put together at the moment is like different parts that are stuck together, and the limbs, the head, the pelvis, and the chest, they can all come separate. They can separate themselves. That's how it comes together.
Why is Echo not wearing any clothes?
That's a very good question. Why is Echo not wearing any clothes? That's because he's not a person. He's not a person that without clothes he would be naked. He's a spirit. He's the spirit of the sea or the spirit of water. So he exists everywhere. And in our story, when he comes onto the land to look for Violet, that little girl, he grabbed whatever he could find in the ocean to build himself a body. So he's not naked. He just is. He's just got these parts that just create a shape that is remotely humanoid.
How and why is Echo so tall?
Why is Echo so tall and how? So how tall is he? He's 4 meters tall. I don't know in feet and inches. Sorry. He's 4 meters tall, and he's huge because he's almost a god. You know what I mean? Like he's a very humongous, gigantic spirit or character. So we built him very, very tall so he could be seen from far away, but also that he could show how wide and powerful he is.
Is Echo a good dancer?
Echo is definitely a good dancer. That's a very good question. The way we designed him or built him is to really challenge the mechanics and the rotations around the joints. So he's very flexible, he's very strong, he can do the split, he can be really, really compact, he can explode. And because Autin Dance Theatre is a dance company, we were very interested in making him the best dancer a sea giant could be.
How old is Echo?
I don't know how old he is. He is as old as the earth. So in our story, Echo was created when water was created. The very first second water existed, his spirit existed as well. So he's the only one of his kind. He's as old as the earth. And but what the cool thing about Echo is, like, he's wise, very wise, like an old man, like an old spirit, but he's also very curious and very innocent and genuine, like a child. So he's got those both sides to him.
What materials is Echo made from?
Echo is made out of a lot of different types of materials. The main parts that you see, they're made out of Evo foam, which is a very light foam that we can paint and cut in different shapes to create those designs. He's made out of wood, plastic, glass, strings, bungee cords, so a lot of different stuff. But in the aesthetic, in the look, if you really look at some of his pictures, he has some seashells for the cheek. He's got some seaweed or corals. He's got a shipwreck wood on his chest. He's got some metal wired. He's got a nautilus thighs, crab fingers and toes. So he's got all the different stuff that you would find in the sea, both because of the natural environment where they are and also because of man-made pollution or debris or trash that we've left in the sea.
Why did you make Echo?
So we made Echo to tell the story of Out of the Deep Blue. So we wanted to work with the giant puppet. We wanted to work with the sea giant that would give us an entry point to a story where we could start talking about climate change and the biodiversity crisis, but from a point where the audience could relate to and fall in love with the character and follow him on his journeys as he's finding Violet and they start to understand each other.
Is it easy or hard to move Echo?
Is it easy or hard to manipulate or puppeteer Echo? At times it can be easy when he's doing easy stuff. For example, standing still and just waving is pretty easy because he's not moving the whole body. But puppeteering is really hard because you need to give your full focus, your full attention to the little movement that you make that creates big movement on him. And what is really hard is also to work together as part of a team. So the puppeteers are really in symbiotic harmony to make sure the whole picture or the whole image of Echo looks like as one. If one person falls asleep, the whole thing kind of falls flat. So it's really hard in terms of stamina, in performance stamina and focus. And also physically, when Echo is swimming, which is quite a technical movement to do, when he's swimming in the air or floating backwards or forwards or jumping, you all need to really push the physicality at the same time. So in that respect, it's really hard, yes.
Do you enjoy being in the show? Sorry.
So personally, I'm not in the show, but I know for a fact that the performers, both the dancers, the puppeteers, and the actors that are in Out of the Deep Blue really enjoy it. They enjoy being outside, doing an outdoor show. They enjoy manipulating a sea giant, but more importantly, they enjoy the audience responses. So when the families or the children or festival audiences laugh and clap and cry and really follow the story, I know they really enjoy it. We know that for fact.
Can you hug Echo?
I think he's a bit tall for you guys to hug him, and we still need to keep our social distance, but we can high five Echo, we can fist bump Echo, we can maybe give him a thigh hug. So he's very friendly. He's a bit scary because he's really tall, but you can definitely be friendly back to him.
Does Echo have a job?
Does Echo have a job? No, he's magical. He doesn't exist in our real world. His job is to make sure water does what water does. Or the ocean. So he exists and it doesn't need money because he's magical. So he doesn't need a job.
Can Echo moonwalk?
Echo can moonwalk, yes. Echo can moonwalk. Echo can almost backflip. Echo can cartwheel. He can do the flag on a pole. He can do loads of different tricks.
What's the story and why did you create it?
Good question. The story is our sea giant rose from the depth of the ocean because something is going wrong with the ocean, the water, the planet, due to our overconsumerism, pollution of plastic, how we're changing the climate, how we're not really taking care of the planet. So everything was going well for a while, and because of our effect on the planet, he's kind of like, he needed to come and talk to somebody. He felt like the oceans were not working the way it did, the temperature's changing, the level of salts in the ocean, the plastic in it. So he's decided to use his magic to create this body so he can walk on the land and find somebody to talk. So that's the beginning of the story. That's where it starts. When he's walking, he's looking for somebody. In the part of the spectacle when he's meeting Violet, he's never seen a little human that is willing to listen to him. And so they're a little bit scared at each other at first, and then they start to play with each other and giggle, and then he's willing to share his story of what's happened. So he's telling us about the landslides and the iceberg melting and the plastic in the ocean, and he's telling us all that through movement. And Violet is the first human that is willing to listen and to be empathetic and curious and to try to be here for him. And the message of the show, why we created the show, what is the main story, is if we're willing to listen, we can find a way out of the climate emergency crisis. If we're really willing to pay attention to what is the natural world needs to thrive and survive, we can find a way. There's already a few companies that are doing stuff out of sustainable material or bamboo or non-fossil resources. So there's a way out. We just need to be willing to listen to Echo.